Hey guys, guess what time it is?
It's time for small potatoes.
Where we give you a naughty tease of our latest Patreon episode.
Be sure to subscribe. Links are in the description.
The gist of this entire episode is about clients and their financial means, their budget, where they kind of fall on that scale, and then how they're treated as a customer. And I think we got some really cool nuance today. And we were inspired by a couple tweets, were we not?
Yes, we're going to start with the first one from the Roman date. And she says, hot take, the most generous clients aren't the wealthy ones. Totally
Where is my nifty little horn?
agree.
Because I just scared the crap out of my cats. It is absolutely so much truth. It needs a banner flying behind a plane
Yeah.
because I think we have all met wealthy clients that are as cheap as a motherfucker.
Mhm.
And we have met some unexpected, generous Joes that just surprise you, take your stresses away, and
Yeah.
suddenly all of your worries coming up to like the end of the month or something are solved in an hour's time. And you're like, I love you.
Mhm. Well, I mean, wealthy guys are wealthy because they aren't generous, and generosity and wealth are not the same thing. And the most
Mhm.
generous guys at times, this is an assumption, I don't actually know their financials, but they give because they want to. They want to make your
Yes.
day better. They want to treat you. They take enjoyment from that, whether it breaks their bank or not.
100%. 100%. And it brings me to training too, because chatting with girls, I'm like, you'll be surprised how quickly the like 9 a.m. guy that brings everybody coffee
Yeah.
becomes your favorite over the
Yeah.
big tipper who like floats in every once in a blue moon,
Hmm.
because that's so reliable, in my opinion.
Yeah.
First of all, always be the guy that brings coffee if you're going for an early morning appointment. That is guaranteed brownie points. It's like showing up with an apple for the teacher
Hmm.
on the first day of school. That's just a win. You're going to win over the front desk. You're going to win over the girls in the staff room. The
Yeah.
girls all be jealous that like Riley gets to see the coffee guy. It's
Yeah.
just a thing. You'll have a cool nickname like that, and everyone loves like Starbucks Steve or something.
Yeah.
Like you end up that guy. We love that guy. But I've also always told girls like, don't depend or expect even the big tipper to return,
Right.
because there are dudes that will just float in. Maybe they got a bonus at work. Maybe it's tax
Hmm.
season. Maybe they just finalized the divorce and they want to piss away what's left. Whatever the hell the reason is,
Right.
it's a random, spontaneous guy usually. And you go through and give him like an ordinary session, nothing magical, nothing special, nothing over the top. And then you're done showering and you walk him out the door, and then you look back at the table and he's left like 2 grand for you or something
Hmm.
outlandish, and you almost want to immediately run down the hallway and go get him and be like, come back, I'm going to do more for you,
I could do
because
them better.
it's that, yeah, it's the instinct to be like, I should have sucked his dick. Like, it's like
Right.
what just happened. And yet at the same time, even if he promises he'll be back tomorrow or next
Hmm.
week or something, you're not going to see that guy for another like 7 months.
Yeah.
Something totally random, no reason, no repeat, no like every Christmas. It's not that he's not going to come at Christmas time. He's going to come in the middle of like April or some random
Right.
month. It's just never going to be on the 28th of the month when rent's due. Like, don't depend on that guy for that. It's just not the way
Yeah.
it goes. But Bob, that comes in every Saturday, that only ever does a half an hour at
Hmm.
12 noon, does the same thing in every session. He never tips a dollar. He definitely doesn't bring coffee, and he's absolutely never paying your rent. He pays more of your rent
Yeah.
than the guy that came in and dropped the 2 bills, because his bread and butter money goes
Yeah.
to every bill you pay. It goes to every like valuable thing that you're doing. It feeds your kids or sends your kids to school or pays off your mortgage. It is
Yeah.
the most dependable, solid money that you could find in a client. I would die on that hill.
Consistency. I definitely think consistency is king when it comes to clients. But when you were
Mhm.
saying that, it reminds me of a story when we used to manage, and I forget the attendant, but said client came in on his pedal bike, like a bicycle, and
Oh
asked if
yeah.
he could leave it in the lobby because he didn't have somewhere to lock it up. And the girl that he chose, I think probably judged him a little bit based off face value. You know, he's not pulling up in the Porsche. He's on a bike.
Right. It's not a
And
bicycle.
she gave him a session, a decent session, I'd have to assume, but she didn't, give it her all. She didn't give him the full experience that she could have. And when the session was over, I think he tipped her like 200 or $250 over what the cost was for the session. And I remember her saying like, shit, I should have like knocked his socks off because he just tipped me, $250. And the lesson there, and I used it after that experience in training girls, is not to judge, because if you go into every room as a sex worker, or as a massage girl in particular, thinking, I'm going to kill this, I'm going to make
Yeah.
this guy a regular. If you walk in with that mentality each and every time, not only will you be booked and busy with regulars, those bread and butter clients, but every single big tipper is going to leave extra money on your table, like, period. But it takes those experiences, unfortunately, to learn that lesson, like, in real time.
1,000%. Like, underline and double stamp it. And it's funny how you have to learn those lessons, but I
Mhm,
think viewers and listeners need to keep in mind that for the majority of sex workers, especially in the massage world, especially in the Toronto massage industry, on average, when they start, they're in their early 20s. And
mhm,
you just don't know those life lessons when you're 20, 21, 22. Like, listen, I've met 30-year-olds that don't know those things either. Like,
yeah,
it just depends on what your life experiences have been to the point where you're coming in. And it goes so maybe we're just old school and this is our Gen X minds, but to me it goes so against the hustle grain, because the hustle would tell you knock his socks off every time and you'll be the busiest girl in the spa.
mhm,
Duh. To me that just seems simple. Work hard, get rewarded.
mhm,
Nowadays that's not the motto. So that's not how they work. It's just not how people work anymore. And there are a lot of people that will openly discuss doing the bare minimum because their job pays them the bare minimum, or they had asked
mhm,
for a raise and they got rejected. So now I don't go above and beyond for anybody. And they
yeah,
literally just go through it with that mentality instead of the hustle culture that we were raised with as Gen
mhm,
Xers. And listen, there's toxicity in both of them,
mhm,
there's problems all around. But if you're going into sex work, especially if you have like a more urgent money demand as opposed to I just want to be wealthy, if
mhm,
you're like, I need to pay for school that starts in September, I don't have student loans, I don't qualify for this, that, and I didn't come for money, then you have the summer. So you
right,
need to put on hustle culture hat and get to fucking work. And in my opinion, why would you not want to do that? I hope every time I sit in a hairdresser's chair, they're like, I'm going to knock her socks off instead of being
mhm,
like, another blonde today.
yeah,
It's just, let's fucking, where's the juice? Like, that's why I'm a regular
yeah,
to my colorist, is because he always does the wow. But you can see that in the busyness and the numbers that we see of the signouts every day on who's doing that every time and who
mhm,
hasn't quite grasped it yet. To me,
yeah,
you can miss so many of those kind of good clients if you don't try your best off the hop. And
mhm,
I know guys, now this is I guess maybe one of the pros of review boards is they also reveal some of their secrets. And I've read reviews where people are like, I will only ever do a half an hour for the first session. And I'm not
right,
tipping a dollar. I want to see how she just is. And
yeah,
if it's great, then I'm coming back for 2 hours next time and I will remember your birthday. Like, they
yeah,
become a money guy after that, or a big tipper guy after that. But without that test first, and I'm not even a believer in testing people because this is just a relationship rule of any kind of relationship. Don't set people up to fail. You can fail a
right,
test. That sucks. But I get it. It's an expensive hobby. And so
mhm,
see how the new girl is first, or the new face that you've seen on Twitter or you've read reviews about and you want to see if it's legit. Give her a whirl instead of give her the
mhm,
world. Like, I get it. I totally get it. And I don't blame them because trial and error is expensive in this industry. But
there is,
I'm thinking of my career and I'm like, wow, if I didn't give so many of these particular guys coming to mind the sessions that I did, I wouldn't have made half the money that I did. Like, I worked my
right,
ass off, or actually, I used to say I worked my vagina off to make sure I made the money that working your vagina off should do. Like, I wanted to
yeah,
accomplish the things. And I was serious about it. And maybe that was the hustle culture aspect of it, or like that mentality was the drive. But my goodness, why else are you in sex work If you're
Mhm.
like, I'll make McDonald's money, like here
Yeah.
for that. We're
Well,
just not.
and when we're thinking about like judging a book by its cover, a lot of times, let's speak to the wealthy guys. We
Mhm.
know, we know quite a few gentlemen with quite a bit of money who dress and carry themselves very modestly. Like it's not always flashy. It's not always something you're gonna notice or that's going to stand out to you. And there lies, like, again, the importance of giving your all to every session. Because if you're just
Absolutely.
looking for the Armani suit or the Porsche, you're limiting yourself because there is not only wealthy guys in disguise, but generous men are everywhere and they come in,
Yeah.
all different packages.